Bam, 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 bam.
Hey, hey, hey. How's it going, everybody?
You know what? I just noticed. Why do you get Chuck Norris? Like Bob Barker's awesome, but it's Chuck Norris.
I'm the
Like that's
Dukester.
not fair.
I'm the Dukester. Of course I get Chuck Norris.
He literally has a third hand under his beard,
It's true.
third
And,
fist.
I mean, Bob Barker kicks ass. I mean, let's be honest. He's kicking ass in that scene. He kicks Happy's ass.
He gets up like the Undertaker. The price is wrong, bitch.
That's such a great scene. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that movie. So, yeah. But he's great in that movie.
but come
Plus,
on, like
who
you
doesn't
get
love
Chuck Norris.
Bob Barker punching people? That's awesome.
Why couldn't I get like friggin' Bruce Lee? That would have been cool.
Well, things can change down the road. Our intro is going to change. I think we need to add some lore to what's been going on. Like we need to put a sandwich with a thing and a thing and a thing. Right? Don't we need to add some of that? Maybe add Chook in there. We need to put some things in the new intro.
Yeah, we should.
Uh-huh.
Almost like do it per seasons. Like each season would be so like in 2024
Right.
should have something else in there.
Yeah. So we have some upgrades we could do. Make it a little more pro and cool and maybe get some animation in there. That'd be fun.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. Have a really cool intro. We already got the ideas. It's just we need to make it better. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
You're the least Bruce Lee person I've ever seen.
Is that because I'm white? Is that a racist thing?
Oh,
I can't be
man.
Bruce Lee.
Well, no.
Is it hate against the Irish?
Yeah, let's keep it that. Let's
Yeah,
keep it let's hate against the
Irish hate.
That's awesome.
I love that too. Like the least. Like you know what I mean? There's like all these other people who could be Bruce Lee before me. Like
It's so weird though. I mean, Bruce Lee would be great. Who else could we throw in there? Clint Eastwood. We got to get like Philo Beto, right? Any which way you can, any which way but lose.
Well, just pure badass. And I mean,
yeah,
freaking Texas Ranger.
So see, that's great. We need to do Clint Eastwood. He needs to be in there.
Who's the?
It's not a racist thing. It's an I have eyes thing. Well, welcome, Crazy Matt. It looks like you're the only one in the show right now, and I don't know why, but I love having you. So thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, it's not like it's nice out, man. Weather's been so crappy.
Oh, where's everybody at? Oh, we have another person join. I see, but hopefully they'll jump in the chat here and start talking to us. So I hope. But yeah, so
we do start late at times, so
we only started a minute early. We're fine. We're good. So tonight we're going to talk about great comic rivalries. Just kind of get some opinions. We're going to talk about our opinions about it and nerd out a little bit, and hopefully have a lot of fun because we don't have anybody guesting on the show tonight. It's just Murph and I. I think that's when we're at our best.
Well, I think the whole rivalry,
okay.
The whole thing, I think, for comics is better than any other media because, like, even in movies, you could have a guy like is in the first movie and then they're in the third.
Yeah.
Again, but with comics, like, there's just so many of them for so many years.
Yeah.
You're you know what I mean? Like how many times has the Shredder died and come back? Like it's just
it keeps going.
Yeah, just you have so many stories that right. I mean, gosh, like think of all those. Think of all the big ones.
It's kind of interesting, being in Ohio, Ohio State and Michigan, one of the biggest football rivalries.
Man.
It really is. But I always hear from people from Michiganders. They always say it's not real. It's just Ohio. They're the only ones that care about the rivalry.
Oh, that's not true.
But
it's
they
one of
say
the biggest rated games. People watch it that aren't fans of either because it's a big, just like Notre Dame, USC, and Texas, Oklahoma. Like these are big big games because of that. Yeah, that's
It's
bull.
interesting to me because,
All
and
of
I
college
think
football
it's,
cares about that.
and I really believe it comes down to Ohio State winning most of the time. So they
They
act
won
like
like
they don't care.
20 out of the last like 22 games. So yeah, it's been one side.
Yeah. So I think it's because it's one sided. They're like, oh, it's no big deal. You guys suck. We just let you do that. And it's like really, they really hate it. And I think they're in denial. So that's what I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's
Oh
what I
no,
believe.
yeah, no, definitely. Elmo Biggs.
Oh, Mo showed up. All right. Look at that. I had to search this stream out. It didn't show up for me. Oh, that's crazy. I had it out there and I even put it on Twitter twice. I know you're not on Twitter, but still, I put it out there twice. I wonder why it didn't show in your notifications. That's interesting. I've had a few YouTube channels do that to me though. So
You know what? I usually get a notification for it. Oh no, I did get it. I did get the Let's Talk Great Comics. So never mind.
that's because they lose all the time they've cared the last 2 years. It's true. They've
Oh
actually
yeah, they
started coming
definitely cared
back.
the last 2 years.
So hey, I think it's awesome. I want to see the back and forth. I don't like to see Ohio State win all the time, to be honest. Really, it's not a good rivalry if you don't get to, if it's not a nail biter. If you don't know who's going to be the winner, that makes it much more worth it. I don't want to know Ohio State's going to win every damn time. It's not cool.
Yeah, that hurts a rivalry.
Yeah, you want to wonder. You're like, oh man, they could really lose this one, and then you want to be on the edge because that makes it exciting. So that's the way I feel about it. At least I'm not a big football fan. So
No, but you like baseball, so look at the Boston Red Sox Yankees. Like frig, man.
oh yeah, yeah, and I don't
Are
even.
you an Indians or Reds fan?
Yeah, Guardians, Indians,
they're
Guardians.
Guardians.
Yeah, the Guardians.
Who's
I
their
really, I'm not sure. I'm
Not-
fairly new to that, so I don't know.
I don't
Can't
know
answer.
either.
But I do like baseball. I'd rather watch baseball. We'll watch baseball highlights on YouTube, and it's fun to watch. I enjoy it. But I'm not a big sports guy. I'm just not.
Yeah, I mean, I like certain like the NBA playoffs right now is really good. Like really good.
I can't stand basketball. I got to get out of it. I can't handle it. I don't like it.
I love it.
Too many cocky guys. I'm not into that. I can't stand it. And most of those guys, I'm just like, the way they play, sometimes they look lazy. I just don't like watching them.
Hmm?
It's not
I mean,
for me.
The playoffs is different. Regular season, there isn't a lot of defense in the NBA, but the playoffs it's more serious. It's better.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy man, you're a big sport. I would consider myself like I'm not as much of a sports fan as I used to. Like I used to love the NFL and March Madness. Like this year, I need to watch March Madness, which is crazy because I was always big. Loved getting into the whole tournament bracket, fill out your bracket thing.
It just, I don't know what it is. I think it's because, I kind of got burnt as a kid. I really think that's a lot of it.
What do you mean you got burnt as a kid?
Like just playing sports, getting burnt, like coaches not treating you fairly, and then having like, their kids are playing and you're going, I'm better than their kid. And then their kid's in anyway, and he's messing up the game. Like they're losing it for the team, but he gets to play anyway because he's the coach's kid.
Sure.
That kind of stuff.
Well, I mean,
Seen that so many times, man.
Yeah, politics and everything.
Yeah, and it's just that's the stuff I can't stand. So I'm like, I'd rather not be a part of it. It's not that I hate football; it's that I just don't. I like it for fun. I don't like it as a serious thing. So, but I get people who do it. It makes sense to me.
To me, if fantasy football didn't exist, I probably wouldn't like the NFL as much as I do. Like fantasy football is fun.
Yeah. That is
I have
cool.
no idea what Mo's talking about.
So he says basketball players are definitely lazy. They need to learn to stand around dynamically for 4/5 of the game like football players.
There is a debate who are the better athletes, NBA or NFL. There is a debate about that.
I'm going to say NFL. March Madness was great this year. All the 1s, 2s, and 3s went down early. Yeah, I
Damn,
heard it was pretty good this year.
I didn't watch any of it. That sucks.
I didn't either. Our work does like a little. They do a little thing
Hmm.
where they have people put in, for the brackets and stuff. But
Yeah,
I didn't follow it. I just stayed out of it. Not my thing. But that's cool. That's cool. I enjoy
yeah.
talking to people about stuff. Seeing that they get excited about it. Yeah, I agree. NFL and it's not close. Now, I do agree. Basketball players have stamina; they have to run back and forth. But
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, they're
yeah,
nonstop. Where
yeah,
NFL, but I
stamina,
mean,
yes.
they
But
say though the
NFL,
hits in
dude,
the
God,
NFL's like getting hit by like a 40-mile-per-hour
that's what I
car.
mean.
Like,
The power that's behind some of those guys in the NFL is ungodly. It's
yeah, the
awesome.
power and the speed. They're
Yeah,
fast, man.
they really are fast. They're carrying more weight. They have more. They have to execute certain things in a matter of time. So the timing, it's ridiculous.
Well, even when you think like the field they're getting like falling down on and getting tackled, like that's gotta hurt like heck, man.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to standing around doing nothing, NFL players bury an NBA players, right? So hey, we're getting kind of deep into everything. Let's move out to Crazy Mad's question of the week. Almost forgot to get back to it. So you can only get pizza at one pizza chain for the rest of your life. What pizza chain do you choose?
So it's got to be a chain. It can't be like a family restaurant. Like
I
it's got
know
to
that makes
be.
it so
It's
bad.
got to be like Pizza Hut, Domino's. Uh, God, what are the other chains? Uh, Crap, I can't think of any of the other chains.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Little Caesars,
Little Caesars.
Papa John's.
Yeah, Papa John's. I was thinking of that.
They got Jets
Is
Pizza.
Donato's a big chain, or is that just or is that
Donato's.
just Ohio thing?
Oh, I don't know if it's just Ohio. I
Because
know
I
we have
never heard of Donato's in PA, so I don't know if
Okay.
that's a
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, for
boy.
us, it's a chain.
Honestly, to pick out of though, I think I'd go Papa John's. Honestly, I feel like it just tastes healthier.
I'm
You
not
know?
looking for healthy when I go for pizza, but
Yeah, but you have to eat it for the rest of your life.
yeah, that's true. Wait, oh, this is what he says. No one stands around more than
Yeah,
his mate.
Major League Baseball. Oh yeah.
I agree. I agree with that. That's a good point, Crazy Man. They aren't the pitcher, the catcher, MLB players, or the kings of standing around. It's true. They are. I like baseball for a lot of other things, though. I mean, I like watching the pitch. I like watching the hits. Um, and
Hmm.
then some of the plays they make are just amazing. So, but yeah. Anyway, so Mo, you have never heard of Donato's? Is that what it is?
I'm thinking it might be because
Might
even
be
how
Ohio.
it's cut, it's a very Ohio thing. The square, so it might just be an Ohio thing.
I thought, isn't that like a Chicago cut? I thought they called that a Chicago cut where they do squares.
Is
Maybe
that
I'm
a
wrong.
Chicago thing? I thought that was an Ohio thing.
Maybe it is, but I thought it was Chicago. So yeah, I like squares. I'm a fan of the square, cut. I'm a fan of any cut of pizza. Really, there's really no bad pizza except for what you put on it.
I wouldn't say that.
Um,
I
Now,
don't agree. I've had bad pizza.
well, hold on. I've had pizza that is not as good, but when I really look at it, I'm like, is it terrible? Would I not eat it? I don't think I've ever had it where I wouldn't eat it. You know, I don't know if I've had pizza where I couldn't eat it. It is Chicago.
Well,
That
yeah,
is like a
yeah.
Chicago cut. Oh, it could be Detroit too. Yeah, square cut might be Detroit. Yeah, you might be right, Mo.
Well, though, too, I want to make sure they because there's a square cut where it's like 12 pieces and not like the square cut we're talking about where it's like 20
Right.
little itty bitty pieces and where you
You
have
know,
still crust on
so,
all.
so that was a big rivalry. We're talking about rivalries tonight. Domino's and Pizza Hut. You remember that? Like back in the '90s, that was a pretty big rivalry back then.
Was there a third big one or no? Was it just those two?
Oh, I don't know. Little Caesars tried to come up and be big, but They're Detroit. Little Caesars is.
I
Got to
feel
be
like
honest.
Little Caesars, when it first came out, it was great. Like, it was
When
really
it
good.
first came out, and then
Yeah.
it tanked, and I feel like it's just kind of the low of the low pizza.
Well, yeah, it doesn't
Like,
taste as good like it did in the beginning. They definitely
yeah,
changed it.
well, I feel like you're scraping the bottom if you're going there. Domino's is not very much higher, but Domino's has a little more option, and their sauce is better. So I kind of like Domino's better.
See, I always
And
ate at Pizza Hut, so I barely had Domino's.
I feel like Pizza Hut was super greasy, man. It was always super
Dude,
greasy. So I
I
was like,
worked there when I was 16. The
yeah.
amount of oil we put
See?
in the pan pizza, my
I
God.
know. You're just like pump,
Dude,
pump,
yeah, man.
No, that's so bad. That's so bad, dude. I could not stand it. If you had to choose to go with a local bar pizza, but no one would know of it, so I had to just choose chains. Yeah, you're right, Crazy Mad. But
Yeah,
I gotta admit, our local places are way better than the chains, and so we go local here. The chains are terrible, and there's probably two different places where I live that are like, no, three. I'll give it three places that are decent. One stands above the other, but
I'm not impressed by Mary's Pizza. Or Marysville. By what? I'm not impressed by Mary's Pizza.
But that's not my favorite. The one you had was not my favorite, but it's probably in second place in Marysville, though. Yeah. Pizza Hut is disgusting, man. Pizza Hut was the goat of major chains until they got bought out. Yeah, it's true.
What do you mean they got bought out?
They suck. Didn't Pepsi buy them out? I thought Pepsi bought them out.
Pepsi owns Pizza Hut?
Yeah, they used to. I don't know if they still do, but they were owned by Pepsi at one point. So, and that's when they seemed to get a little downhill for me. That's when they changed. But growing up, Pizza Hut was the shit. We used to eat there all the time.
I remember the one commercial because it was on the VHS of the Ninja Turtles movie where it was a kid that wasn't having a good game and there was like a song to it. And then they ended up at Pizza Hut at the game. I remember too as a kid, like Pizza Hut, you could get like toys there. Like you would want to get like special cups or cool things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, some other company bought them and then Pepsi bought that company. Okay, that makes sense. So it's when they first sold. Papa John's is solid.
The late 90s, Pizza Hut had these pasta bake things, and they were great.
I just think some of those places. No, I just think sometimes those things need to not expand beyond pizza. They're barely getting the pizza good. Why go into other foods? You know what I mean? Like Domino's is trying to do subs. I had one of their Italian subs, and you would think pizza and subs, that'd be easy, right?
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Actually, talking about Donato's, I do like Donato's subs. Their subs are
do make
decent.
good subs. Yeah, they do make good subs. I like their pizza, but to do it forever, I think that's a tough one for me. I do like Papa John's. Papa John's might be one of the better pizzas for me.
Yeah, I think Papa John's would out of the three big ones, Pizza Hut, Domino's, and I would definitely go Papa John's. Yeah. Hey, Pizza Hut was the first one to have stuffed crust, right?
I think so. Now, what we loved about Pizza Hut was so there were two things. They had the salad bar, which was awesome.
Oh, they had the buffet on Sundays, yeah.
Yep. And then they had lunch buffet where you could go in, and it was like at the time it was like $5 or $6. You could go in, you got a drink, and all you could eat pizza for lunch.
All you could eat pizza, breadsticks, even they'd have like dessert pizzas. Yeah,
it was fantastic, and I was like, that was like the best deal in town, dude. So
yeah,
it was awesome. But that ended. They won't bring the bar back. I guess since COVID, they've ended the salad bar. So they're not bringing that back.
Yeah, and people are just gross. I don't want a salad bar anywhere.
Right. People are gross. So I agree with that whole wholeheartedly. Going to like what do you say? Um, like Golden Buffet or Golden Corral. That's what it was. Golden Corral buffet. And I'm like, at first I thought it was cool, right? I was like, man, look at all this food. This is amazing. It doesn't taste too bad. It's pretty good. Like on a Sunday, it's good to go.
Hmm?
And no, then you see who's there and what they're doing to all the food and how
Who's
they're
there?
doing it. And then you
Who's
realize
there?
that it is not it's the most unsanitary place on earth. And then you
Hmm?
realize you're eating that shit. So no, you got to get out of there. You got to run because it's probably what spawned COVID in the first place. I mean, that's how bad it is. Now look at this. Golden Corral's awesome.
Damn, crazy man.
It used to be like it tasted good. I never thought the food was bad, but man, people just ruin all that stuff. People ruin it. Doesn't make it cool. So anyway, let's move on. We were talking about great rivalries.
Domino's versus
We love
Pizza Hut.
Yeah, woo.
Netflix
So-
versus Blockbuster.
Heck yeah. Netflix won that one. Do you
Yeah.
remember when they first came out? It was like, oh, what's
Yeah.
Netflix? Nobody cares. And then next thing you know, it's big shit.
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
took over.
they're not doing great though. Netflix might not be around forever.
Well, and it's because they're not putting the content out anymore. So they were putting out great content and things were looking pretty cool.
They went
And
woke.
then they just stopped doing great content. And the shows you want them to make, they just said, "Nah, we're not going to do it again." You know, they did 2 seasons of it, and then you're waiting for the third, and then nothing.
Yeah,
know.
Witcher sounds like it's going to be bad. With that,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like other
terrible.
than Stranger Things, what they got going on.
Right.
I didn't know that. Holy
Blockbuster had a
shit!
chance to buy Netflix, but turned it down to try and copy it with their own service, which flopped.
Oh,
Ooh. Well, Blockbuster was meant to go down, man. That's just the way it was.
I loved doing that though. Friday nights,
Yep.
because it was video games and movies. You'd go and man, that
Yeah,
was,
it was
great.
In Brookville, they have a family-owned buffet called Rob's. I highly suggest it. Their breakfast and dinner are both awesome. Now, see, that's a little different if somebody keeps the buffet clean and moving, but most of the time
Where's
they're not.
Brooksville?
In
Is that like
Brookville,
Cincinnati?
my guess is probably in Southern Ohio, somewhere around there.
I mean, Southern Ohio is a big area, so
Well, more towards
Yeah.
Cincinnati. Cincinnati's Southern Ohio, but I would think it's down in that section. I don't know though.
because wouldn't Dayton be considered Southern Ohio?
It's lower third, but it's not full. It's not all the way down. But yeah. So anyway, we want to talk rivalries tonight. So we were talking about some of our favorite rivalries in comics. I don't know what some of your favorite rivalries in comics are as a chat, but you guys can kind of let us know what you think. What were some of your favorite rivalries to read growing up?
I mean, Wolverine and Sabretooth. My God. Freaking amazing.
Well, there's your answer, Murph. It's around Dayton. So there you go. Mo says, I'd be iffy about a place called Rob's. With a name like that, it sounds like the service would be really slow. It might be. As long as the food's good, that's all I care about. That's really what I care about. No, but what?
I was gonna say Bob. I could see it. Rob. I don't know. I don't think that's.
I don't know. It's a weird name, Rob's.
Yeah, Rob's. How do you get that trademark? Like, there's got to be Rob's all over the place, right?
Yeah. Who knows, man? But I'll tell you, if it's good food, it don't matter. It really don't.
That's very true.
So, okay. You said Wolverine and Sabretooth.
Oh yeah, man.
So
You know, trading cards, have them fighting. Like, man, you go into a comic book store, there'd be posters of them going at it all the time.
Yeah, I would.
And then even the cartoon made it so good. Like, just how they would talk to each other and everything. Amazing. They did
Right.
such a good job with Sabretooth.
Who did a good job?
The cartoon, like how he sound and everything. Freaking amazing.
Mo says it's not Rob Arnold's.
Yeah, that's
Crazy
what I was
got
thinking.
it. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Crazy got it, but I was basing it on Rob Arnold. I figured that's who it was. Yeah, I mean, Wolverine and Sabretooth are one of my favorites of all time. They really are. And I feel like when it's Sabretooth against Wolverine, that's when Wolverine's at his best. What do you think?
I wonder if people would rather see Hulk versus Wolverine. Because that's a pretty big thing too. I think that's actually might be the Hulk's biggest rival. Was Wolverine.
What? No
Dude,
way.
you know how many times they fought?
Yeah, but that's not his biggest rival. His biggest
What
rival
would be
probably
the Hulk? What's his
uh,
name? The big green guy?
Yeah, well, I forget his
Abomination?
name. Abomination.
Or Leader?
Yeah. Abomination probably, but I don't know though, because it's weird with the Hulk. A lot of times he fights himself, so it's more like he's one of those
Bruce
he's one of
Banner
those
is the Hulk's
heroes where,
biggest.
well, it's kind of like Iron Man, where you see some off characters, but everybody says the Mandarin and Iron Man, but I'm like,
That's what I thought.
how many times has he fought the Mandarin? Is it a lot? I don't know. It seems like the more you see the Iron Man, it's without the Mandarin.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's always true. But what is going on? Something's happening here. Oh, okay. Now I know.
Comments mate said that someone murdered Rob.
Somebody
Yeah.
murdered him?
What he
Hang
said.
on, I'm trying to get something up and running, and then I'll get back there.
Oh yeah, Dean said that
Hey, Dean, thanks for coming on, man.
he said to turn into Raiden Radio to find out more.
Oh, really? I'll have to do that. That'll be interesting. A mystery.
They do have a rivalry. That is a thing.
Yeah. Wolverine versus Cyclops' sense of security in his relationships. Yeah, that's true.
I want to see for both of them.
Versus the male gaze. That's true too. The Hulk is the Tyler Durden of superheroes. Tyler Durden.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I guess, right?
Probably, yeah. Oh man, you guys. Yeah. But let me share this. So I did a little thing over the weekend, which I was pretty happy with. Very happy with. I haven't drawn, man. My drawing has been kind of weird. And I've been up and down. So I've been having to like push myself to get back in. And one moment I'll be drawing, and the next minute I'm just done and I'm out and I don't have the time. And then I have to get myself warmed back up into it again. So it's been a struggle. And but this is what I got. This is what I've been coming up with for fun.
I like the version that's not as dark.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand.
But I like that you went with that Wolverine's costume where it's blue on the side. I like that better than the traditional.
I did too. And there was something classic about it. And then with the short ears, I like his short ear span. That's more.
Yeah, I do too. Because sometimes Wolverines can get ridiculously out there.
Yeah, I don't like the real tall. Same with Batman. I don't like the real tall. Sienkiewicz's Batman. He's cool and it's a great drawing, but it's like, it's not my favorite version. So what about team ups, Marvel and DC versus their customers? Yeah, no
that is a rivalry.
That is very true, Mo. Dr. Dean Hatton. What? Dr. Dean Hatton. I'm going to have to look that up. You're allowed to make Wolverine really short. He is short.
Sometimes they do make him too big now.
Wolverine versus the buffet. Are you saying he's fat? Is that what you're trying to say? The Embrace 2 has fan art contest, and this cart isn't drawing hairy Canadians. What? Is that what you meant to type in there? I can't make that out.
Yeah, I don't know if
Anyway,
it's supposed to be this art or
I
I don't
can't
know
make it
what.
out. I know, Dean. Here's the reason I haven't done the art contest is because stuff like this, I need to get this crap out of my system before I can do stuff that's. I would consider the fan art contest serious, and I would want to do some serious work. This was for funsies and just to get my drawing out. So, oh, okay, I understand.
The C word.
Yeah. So, yeah, I understand it now, Dean. I had to get it in my head, but
He's spelling it. No.
oh, now Mo's putting it out there. So
Yeah.
great. Dean wants
Gosh.
guys. No, we don't have any money, so we don't care. Anyway.
Yeah, do whatever the hell you want.
No, but I am happy with this drawing. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm happy with it.
It's funny though that people on YouTube now have words for words they can't say. Like if someone's talking about the R word against women, they say grape.
Oh,
You know
wow.
what I mean? Instead of taking the G. So you wonder if there is a YouTube word to say for the C word that you could
Wow.
say that it's not a, you know what I mean? Like you can't.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Thanks, Dean. I appreciate that, man. It's I'm proud of it. You know, for
Does
not
the
putting so
embrace
much
have a
work.
rival?
Well, I don't know if that's been established. I know on the new artwork I've seen, it looks like he's going to have a new rival. So he's saying draw embrace. I know what he's saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I had to get this out of my system before I jump into any fan art contest. And I would love
You
to
know,
jump into fan art contest.
you know what also is funny with Wolverine? How they've definitely take his like shortness away now. They've
Yeah.
kind of take his hairiness away too.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that as much. And I mean, he used to be like a ball of fur, honestly. Like,
Yeah. I There was a picture that kind of inspired me that I saw of him, and it had some hair coming out of his mask and everything. And I was like, that's freaking cool. I love him looking he just like he's in a
disheveled.
battle. Yeah, he's in a battle. Like he's just, you know, uh, his costume's been messed up and he's not, perfect. He just looks cool as hell. And so I thought, okay, I want to draw him. And then I sat down and did it. And I was like, okay, this is fun. I'm having a great time. And I need that and need to get that out of my system a little bit before I actually get in serious on stuff. Because if I don't, I know that I'll be just, you know, in my head too much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like drawing gets psychological with me sometimes. And I don't like that, but it's true. It
I
does.
I really wonder if Wolverine's costume with the yellow can translate in live action.
I don't know. I don't know if it can. This is another one I did a while back.
Yeah, I
It's
do
a while
like that.
back. I was like, man, it's probably been 4 years ago now.
Is
3 or 4 years.
Joker versus Batman the rivalry? Is it the most?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's
What do you
up
guys
there,
think is
man.
the biggest rivalry of all time? Do you Holy shit.
Right? It's got. I mean, look how many movies the Joker had. Look how many different actors have played Joker. Like you
Yeah,
talk about Batman, but how many actors have played the Joker? Like,
right. So I said who's the all-time greatest rivalry on our poll, and so far, 100% is Batman Joker. So I would almost say this is the greatest.
it's not my
Um,
favorite, but being objective, it's kind of
yeah,
hard to top it, isn't it, man? Like,
it's pretty hard. I mean, two of the most iconic characters of all time in comics, I would say.
I mean,
So
like
it's really
Joker
hard.
literally killed Robin for a period of time. Like,
Yeah.
who else has done something like that to the hero? Like, the Joker's really won at times against Batman. Like,
It can if you do a classic short Wolverine and he's going undercover in the Cub Scouts.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
On YouTube, you should be seeing a poll at the top of the chat. There's a poll up there if you look, and you can go vote. So go vote, Mo. You're probably so we only have one vote. I didn't see how many votes. I just looked real quick. Dean voted.
What were the options you put on the poll?
So I put, let me look again. Batman Joker, Superman Lex Luthor, Wolverine Sabretooth, and Spider-Man Green Goblin. Can you think of bigger ones than that? I almost can't think of bigger ones.
Like the Turtles and Shredder or Optimus and Megatron.
But I don't think they're bigger than the 4 that I listed. Do you?
I feel like Superman and Lex Luthor has definitely lost, like 20 years ago, yeah. But it's kind of been...
It's in there, Mo. You got to look up higher than just the pinned chat. Hail the chat.
What's the 4? You have Batman, Joker, Superman, Luthor, Wolverine, Sabretooth, and what's the 4th?
Spider-Man Green Goblin.
You know what, though? Man, Green Goblin.
Yeah, okay. Dismiss the pinned comment. That makes sense. Pinned comment's in the way. That makes sense.
Boy, though, what they did with the Green Goblin for the new Spider-Man movie, that was freaking great, man. Killing Aunt May. Frig, man.
So Spider-Man has a better rogues gallery, but not a better rival. I agree. It's not a better rivalry because Green Goblin, really, he don't even fight him that often. You know what I mean? He's had some big things with him, but not as long as Batman's had the Joker. And I think
because Green Goblin will be dead for years. You know what I mean? And the Joker's always around.
And I almost have to agree. I probably should have done this. Doc Ock over Green Goblin. I agree, Mo. I would say Doc Ock has had more interaction with Peter probably than the Green Goblin.
Well, Doc Ock even took Spider-Man's body to become Superior Spider-Man. So
right. And even the games, they put Doc Ock as his mentor.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just one of those things where it plays into the story a little better than Green Goblin. So, and then Crazy Mad says I'd go with Venom and Spider-Man, but I don't know, man. I think Venom didn't last.
They're like friends now. They're not rivals anymore.
Yeah, I don't think Venom lasted as long as Green Goblin, or as Doc Ock.
Yeah, Doc Ock I'd put Goblin and Doc Ock over Venom.
Yeah. Green Goblin's called Spider-Man's Joker all the time. Joker's never called Batman's Goblin. That is damn true.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's
just what Dan Slott wants you to think, Mo.
What did Mo say?
From, Green Goblin, probably. So, I mean, I agree, though. I think Doc Ock has been used so much and been in tons of stories that I would almost say he's been given more time than Green Goblin.
Well, yeah.
So it makes sense to me. But yeah, Spider-Man versus Dan Slott. No shit.
The only thing, though, it's like Doc Ock can be good, though. Like, Green Goblin's never good. Joker and Sabretooth are never good. Like, they're always the enemy. Which Green Goblin's always the enemy. He's never a good guy.
Yeah. They've tried to make Joker kind of on the good side for a short minute, but it's always a lie. Sabretooth, the same way. It's always a lie.
When did they make the Joker good?
They've had him kind of fight. Didn't they have him team up? I think they had a thing where he teamed up with Batman for a second, and then because they had to defeat a similar villain.
Oh, that's interesting.
Sabretooth, they did it. Remember in the X-Men, I think in the 90s, they made him. It was whenever Wolverine popped the claw in his brain. Do you remember that? And Sabretooth kind of went limp, and you thought he died, but really it just, kind of reset him a little bit. But then he was in the X-Men for a little while, and then really he was just being an asshole.
It was cool what they did in the Age of Apocalypse with Sabretooth being a good guy. That was cool.
Yeah, a Wild Child. Didn't he have Wild Child on his shoulder or something?
Yeah. Very cool.
Green Goblin offered Peter a job. That was nice. Right. Sabretooth turned into a puppy dog after that. Yeah, I didn't love that. Kind of weird. They kind of went animalistic on it, and that's when, not long after that, is when they made Wolverine kind of animalistic too.
Yeah.
Dumb. I hated it. Hated that time.
He still lived at the X mansion, but it's just like outside. Like,
yeah, it's so dumb. I hated it.
And he had a stupid blue mask thing on. It's like,
yeah. Not my fave, I gotta say.
That's no one's fave.
No. So, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Let me see. What else we got? So, those, I would say Batman's probably the biggest. Batman Joker's the biggest. What do you guys think about Lex and Superman? Would you put that at number 2?
No, I think it's fallen off too much.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Still to this day, you think it's fallen off?
Yeah. No, so I don't think people. I don't think people care about Lex Luthor at all. Outside of Smallville, really? I don't think anyone cares.
Because I thought they made him like president, and then they did so much with him in DC. I thought they were building him up.
I have no idea what's going on in the Superman comics, so I mean,
I don't know. What's the chat say about that? Would you put Superman Lex Luthor as number 2? Yeah, I mean, okay. So yeah, I agree with this. It's still iconic. So I don't know if you could get away from how iconic Lex and Superman is.
I mean, what's the worst thing Lex ever done to Superman? Like, it's not like they're actually going to get in a fist to cuffs. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, Wolverine and Sabretooth, man, like, Sabretooth, like, killed Wolverine's, like, people he's loved. You know what I mean? Like, they freaking hate they want to kill each other.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But, you know, that's a good question. I don't know. I know Lex is no match, but that's where I've never agreed with just because he's no physical match to Superman doesn't mean he's not a match. He's a match, you know, more than a match psychologically or mentally. You know what I mean? Because you can look at that as the leader with Hulk and, you know, you're going for brains against brawn is really what you're doing there. Lex made him illegal. I felt low. Right. Good one.
He wasn't born here. He is illegal.
Right. Lex is more iconic, but Brainiac and Doomsday are better. I don't like Doomsday. I think Doomsday was like a one-off for me. There's not a lot you can do with this character. So.
I don't know. Doomsday looks cool though. When he's got bones,
he looks cool. But I really only believe you can do one main story with him because it's such a dumb character. So I don't like a lot of Doomsday. The less Doomsday, the
when
better.
You think of Doomsday, he's just an evil Hulk, right?
I think he's worse than that. I think he's more powerful than that. But
because he can't die, right? Isn't that his thing? He evolves.
Yeah, there's a lot of difference in him. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think he's a great one-time story, but I don't think he's somebody you keep bringing back over and over and over again. Brainiac, on the other hand, I love Brainiac more than Ultron or anything like that. Ultron's cool, but I think Brainiac is better.
Brainiac better than Ultron. That's interesting.
Yeah, all the way better. Lex represents humanity in the upcoming battle against the Superman AI. Ooh.
What?
Interesting. Lex represents humanity in the upcoming battle against the Superman AI. Pretty cool. I don't know. That's pretty cool. Kneel before Zod. Now, I think Zod is cool. And Zod is pretty much at the same level as Superman, you know, as far as power goes. So I think Zod is actually a pretty cool character. Lex sent him a note that said, "Why don't you put the whole world in a bottle?" That made Superman question himself and step down.
What does that even mean?
That was in the movies, I think, right? But in the comics, he actually had a world in a bottle.
Oh man,
Hey,
they
Mrs.
miss
Good
good
Stuff.
stuff.
How are ya? Good to see ya. Let me get down here to the bottom. Bizarro versus Chook. That's what I say. Nothing beats Chook. Chook wins. Hands down. Chook wins.
Bizarro.
Doomsday's over. We made it past Y2K. See, that's what I'm saying. So you guys don't love the Lex Superman thing, I can tell. But I still think it's one of the most iconic of all time. And one that other comic books measure against when they're creating their own, you know, rivalry with the hero and villain. You have
I
to at
kind of
least give
feel
it
like
that first.
DC. I feel like DC kind of struggles with that.
I think they do struggle, but any new comic that comes out like with superheroes and things like that, everybody's looking at like Batman, Joker, Lex, and Superman. They're looking at those iconic rivalries, dude. And I still put it up there pretty high. So even if it's not one of the top
I mean,
two,
Cap
it's
and
in the
Red
top
Skull have to
five.
be up there, right?
I Not as high as Lex and Superman.
Thor and Loki.
I think Thor and Loki is cool. And you
Yeah,
know
I
what?
mean,
And
Loki's
when you think of
been.
rivalries, when
Yeah,
you think of
that's.
rivalries, they're actually competing for the same thing, which
Yeah,
they're competing for the love of their father and things like that. Like,
and like Loki's barely ever not been around. Like,
right? It's hard because some of these I wouldn't necessarily call rivals. I'd just call them. I don't know what would you call that.
oh,
They're more.
Doom and Mister Fantastic. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, that's a great one. I think that's actually pretty high.
Yeah, that's definitely up there.
Aquaman versus Fishbone. Wow. Hey, Michael T. Welcome.
Yeah,
DC
they really
struggles
do.
with it when it comes to Superman. Yeah, they do. They struggle, and it's because they're so boxed in. They can't break out, of that because for one, they're afraid. They're afraid to take a daring story, and do something cool with it. And two, when they are daring, they go the wrong way with it. They go completely in the wrong directions. So instead of taking something and risking a character, they risk in the bad way. They risk in the woke way, which takes it to a place most people don't even care to read. Yeah, Reed versus Doom. No doubt. You're on the same page. Hey, Edwin. Thanks for coming, man.
Well,
Good luck on Raid of the White Leopard, too. Hope that book is doing good for you. Hope your campaign's doing well. Sorry, 80s child. I'm going to buy the movies. Gene Hackman was the best, and I love to hate him. Yeah?
yeah, Gene Hackman's great. He's one of my
Although when I
favorites.
go back and watch it, he's one of the worst parts about the Superman movies for me.
It is very weird. The
Yeah,
decisions they made very weird.
yeah. But I loved him. I mean, growing up, I loved him. So I'm
Yeah,
I'm not here to cut on it. It's just
especially the whole fake hair thing. But then he's got that
yeah,
sidekick guy that's such a moron. Like,
right,
just
right.
ridiculous. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
so creepy.
But really when you take 1 and 2 as a whole, they're still really cool. And especially once Zod and the team get there, it's just awesome.
Derek, what's bigger, Sabretooth and Wolverine or Professor X and Magneto?
Now that one's a tough one. I was going to throw that out there. What do you guys think? Do you think Professor X and Magneto's bigger, more iconic, or Sabretooth and Wolverine? Because I'm going to say, I'm almost going to say Professor X and Magneto.
What about Cable and Apocalypse?
That's a good one. I just don't think it's really high. I think people like it. It's a well-liked rivalry. I just wouldn't put it up in there in like the most iconic, but it's pretty damn good. Cap versus Hydra, Red Skull, Destructor, and all. Yeah, 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 yeah. I agree with that. Iceman versus the Closet. Wow, you guys. Thanks, guys. Over 1,000 so far, less than 500 away from being funded. Awesome, dude. That's
Oh
good to hear.
yeah,
I'm very happy for you and hope
yeah.
it
Go
keeps
and get
going up
it.
and up. No doubt. Keep rocking. Scrooge McDuck versus the IRS. That's a good one too. Hackman
No, wouldn't
was
it
a
be
likable
Scrooge
Lex.
McDuck versus Charity?
Yeah, it probably would be Charity. That was a good one. I like it. Way bigger, not even comparable.
Mufasa and Scar?
Wait, Dean, which one's way bigger, man? I need to know what you're talking. You're talking about Professor X, or are you talking about something else?
Sabretooth and Wolverine? Yeah, I
Yeah,
could see.
DC versus good casting. That too.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't think they're
No,
ever going to get a better Superman.
you know what though? I wouldn't say casting, Crazy Matt. I would say versus bad directors.
Well, Flash is terrible casting. Like, my God.
Yeah, that was bad. X versus Mags is a better story. Logan versus Creed's a better cover.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's dead on, and that's why I put Professor X versus Magneto higher, because I feel like they're more important to the story of the X-Men, whereas Sabretooth and Wolverine, it's everybody loves it. You just got to have those battles. So that's a cool way to put it, though. Professor X versus a curb. Oh, Mo, picking on the handicap. That's not cool, dude. Barbie versus proper genitalia. Whoa! Where are we going in this stream?
Dude, I'll tell you, though, um, fuck, what's her name? The
Whoa.
Netflix, The Purple Man and Her? That was really
yeah.
well done.
Yeah, the Purple Man was pretty cool.
What's her
I'll
name?
admit that.
Jessica
Jones.
Jones. I couldn't think of her last
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. That was one of the best in recent memory.
Yeah. And the Punisher and Jigsaw.
In the show, yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty cool. Miss Marvel versus my patience.
Hey, who's Rick Grimes' biggest? Do you think it's the governor? Since in the comic, the governor actually chopped off his hand.
Ooh.
The governor chopped off Rick's hand, killed his wife and his unborn baby. The governor did all that to Rick.
Yeah, in the show they kind of downplayed it all. So I would say in the show it was Negan, but in the comics it's probably the governor.
Yeah, you're right. It probably would be Negan on the show, wouldn't it? I mean, it'd definitely be Glenn. Glenn's
The
right.
stairs, the stairs beat Professor X every time.
Oh, God.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's cool. So Dean, what were you? I want you to kind of tell us what you were talking about. Professor X, man. Okay, here it is. Magneto is way bigger than Wolverine Sabretooth. Yeah, I would say so too. That's where I would put it, because it's exactly what Michael T said earlier. Good story versus good cover. Nobody gives a F about Sabretooth. Let's be honest. Man, I don't know why though, because I really love him, and I wish they would do a little more with him.
I mean, he was popular in the 90s, dude.
He was. He really was. But they've kind of downplayed him as just a terrible, murderous piece of crap now. And I'm like, I hate that he gets put aside like that, because he's really, he had more mystery, and he added to the mystery of Wolverine, which made Wolverine cooler back in the 80s and 90s.
Dude, the crazy thing is, in Hickman's House of X, Powers of X, Sabretooth is the one person they don't allow in the community. Not Apocalypse or Magneto, it's Sabretooth. They're like, this guy's just going to make problems for everybody.
Yeah, and that's what they did in the most recent comic too, because I read a little bit of it, and they even they kicked him out of, what was the new Krakoa or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
They even kicked him out of there, and I'm like, come on, man. Professor X annoyed me into wanting Magneto to defeat him. Nowadays, Dean's right. Back in the day, Sabretooth was elite. Yeah, I mean, and nowadays, I think nowadays they just wrote him off, and I hate it, man. Because my favorite thing about Sabretooth was he would say things to Wolverine to trigger Wolverine.
Yeah.
And he would use the past, because Sabretooth remembered a lot of their past, whereas Wolverine didn't. And he would always trigger Wolverine. And he knew how to get right inside of Wolverine's head. And it was perfect. And I love that play that they had. And now nobody's smart enough to write like that, man. They don't have people out there writing like that anymore. And I wish we could see some comics where we saw some good banter between, the villain and the hero. I wouldn't call him popular in the 90s. He was definitely always there in the 90s. I don't know, man. I think people really loved him. He might have lost some popularity due to, kind of what they did to
I
him.
think the cartoon did a lot for Sabretooth too, because this Sabretooth's in a lot of episodes in that animated series. Like he's around a lot in that. Like they
Right.
do a lot of stuff with him.
F Danny, by the way. But yes, Crackback versus Danny. We're taking over Krakoa. Yeah. I love it. Gambit versus Spellcheck.
I don't understand that. What's
It's probably because he speaks French. You probably mess with Spellcheck all the time. I don't know.
That's awesome. That's good. I like that.
Crackback's always going to win because they're always armed with the one thing Danny's always weak against: lighters. You're probably right. Also, F. Danny. See, Michael
Hey,
got it.
out of GI Joe, who's Cobra Commander's rival?
Probably Destro.
That's funny. Yeah, is
I mean, am I
Optimus
right?
really Megatron's, or is it Starscream that's Megatron's rival?
Well, I don't know.
Starscream's always backstabbing Megatron.
Yeah, I would say read a few Gambit word balloons, Murph.
That's funny. Yeah, okay.
I see Danny like in the Game of Thrones Battle of the Bastards scene when they just ride in and circle him. Right. Oh, that's cool. What a cool scene too. Writing a Cajun accent was a choice. Yeah. They always write him speaking Cajun. I know, it's like they never write it right. I'm trying to put that. I'm sure he had some French words he was saying in there too, which is just ridiculous. But yeah. Always thought it was cheesy when they tried to do that sometimes. It went over the top for me. But yeah, so what else? So you were talking about Optimus and Megatron. I think that's a pretty big one. I think that's a big one.
Gosh, how many movies has it been Optimus versus Megatron? Like
Right,
6 of
right.
them? It's always
Yeah, and it's always that, right? What about Green Lantern and Sinestro?
I don't know enough about Sinestro, honestly.
Okay. I mean, Sinestro was a Green Lantern for a while. So to me, that's a little more on the rivalry because you have, them coming from the same thing, which makes a lot of sense. Raiden Radio's here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lincoln Hawk and Bull Hurley. What? Help me, man. Lincoln Hawk and Bull Hurley. Yeah, I think you're talking movies, aren't you? It says comic rivals. Meet them halfway on this one, Raiden Radio. Yeah, I think Lincoln Hawk is in movies, if I'm right. What was that? Was that your bedtime story there?
That was you, not me.
You getting ready? No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was an alarm.
Okay. That was you. Listen to him lying, people.
Dude, I feel like we're missing a big comic book. I'm trying to think in my head, like all these superheroes.
So
it's like,
we talked Daredevil and Kingpin, Daredevil and Bullseye. What do you guys think about that?
I think Kingpin is more with Daredevil, honestly.
Oh, that's funny. Wait, what's F and AF? F and AF. Boy, that sounds like you're really ranting over there, Michael. F and AF?
I have no idea what that is.
I know. Help me out. Oh, man. Help me out. Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, okay. Those are video games, though, so we're not really doing that.
Yeah, we need to do rivals for movies and for video games because there's some good video game ones, but yeah, we should save that.
Oh, he's saying it sounded like Five Nights at Freddy's. That makes sense. Yeah, it's still a thing. my kids, even right now, I hear them talking about it here and there. So Five Nights at Freddy's has left a hell of a mark on my kids.
Is
For sure.
is Venom's big enemy Carnage?
Whew. I mean, wouldn't you say now that's kind of the way it's become?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really read any of this shit now, so I don't know where they're at, but yeah. Wait a minute. I'm going backwards. Okay, how about Thing versus Self-Esteem? Boom, there you go. I would say that's real. Yes.
Thing
Good
versus
one.
self-esteem. I love that. That is so good.
I only know by parenting a teenager. Yeah, me too, man. That's the only way I know it because I never played it. It doesn't have to be for Michael to focus on it. He's been doing City of Heroes streams. Aha. And Venom versus Donny Cates Spiral.
Dude, who are we? Like, there's got to be. I feel like we're missing somebody, right?
He-Man and Skeletor.
But that's not a comic. That's not a comic.
They were comics. They were comics.
Okay.
They were comics. They had sold the comics with the toys. So, dang, man. Flash and Reverse Flash.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I don't think it's stupid. I think that's pretty cool. I like it.
No.
It's just it's been overplayed so much because they keep going. Now here we go.
Your name being Reverse Flash is the dumbest name in existence.
The name. Yes, I hate the name. And Vader versus Luke, I mean, they were in comics. It's true. They were.
Yeah, but come on, it's a movie. It's a film franchise.
Yeah. Thing always reminded us of his blue eyes because it was the only normal thing he had as a blue-eyed fat kid that spoke to me. Okay.
Is his eye, like, can you poke his eyes or are they rock solid like everything else?
That's a good question. I don't know
is
that
his
answer.
Tongue a regular tongue or is his tongue, because his teeth are definitely rock, right? Don't they look weird, his teeth?
Yeah, they're chiclets. I always called them chiclets.
But does he have a regular eyes and
tongue? Good questions, man. I don't know those answers.
And you say you're a Fantastic Four Doctor Doom fan. Come on, Derek.
I don't know if I'd say I'm more of a Doom fan than a Fantastic Four fan. So Jackson versus good character design. Ha. That's funny. Well, Michael Jackson versus pyrotechnics. Sorry, maybe a comic out there somewhere. That's a good one, Mo. That wins for the night. That's number one, most iconic of all time. Good character design moved on from Jackson to face off against the entirety of Marvel post 2011.
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Ooh. Ooh. I'm yawning tonight. It's terrible. No, but so the point of this, I mean, I think we have already established that the best of all time is Batman, but let's check our poll. Have you guys voted? For those of you who have joined recently?
Yeah, the more I think the Joker Batman is by far leaps and bounds over anything else. Like,
okay, so I have 9 votes. Right now, we have Wolverine and Sabretooth and Spider-Man Green Goblin at 11%. Both of them have 11%.
Okay.
Superman and Lex Luthor is 22%. And Batman and Joker is 56%. So Batman and Joker so far.
It's got to be Batman and Joker. It really does. Like, nobody has the history, the amount of, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, there's a new comic starring Whoopi right now. Oh boy,
Whoopi Goldberg or Whoopi like sex?
I don't know. I don't want to know the comic starring Whoopi. Congratulations on getting your joke contributed to me, Mrs. Good Stuff. Ha! Attributed to me.
Dude, are we missing like a big comic? Like, I'm thinking Spawn, Walking Dead, Ninja Turtles. Like, there's got to be other comics out there that's just DC.
Well, Spawn and Clown.
Marvel.
Right? Spawn and, yeah. the Violator. So Pyrotechnics had a brief rivalry against James Hetfield too, and even the Undertaker.
Hey,
Right?
hey, what about Constantine and the Devil?
That's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's iconic, but it's good.
No.
What Pepsi did to Michael Jackson was just a sneak preview of what they would do to Pizza Hut. Oh, shoot. That's funny. The Fast and Furious cars versus gas stations? No doubt, man.
What about Cyclops and Mr. Sinister?
Perf Murph. Hey, Michael T. Didn't mean to skip you. Yeah, probably. That's a little bit of one. I wouldn't say it's mega. It's not. I mean, it's not bigger than Cable and Apocalypse.
Colossus and Juggernaut?
Would you say that's a big one?
Colossus and Juggernaut?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's a big one. I would
I mean,
say
they definitely have a bunch of covers, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Personally,
I
though,
think the Hulk and Wolverine would be up there, wouldn't it?
personally though, would let's be realistic about it. Not realistic. Let's be fantastic about that. Juggernaut would whoop Colossus's ass.
That's not true.
Colossus couldn't stop Juggernaut.
He has.
There's no way.
Colossus is stronger than you think. Like, Colossus can lift buildings.
I don't think he could stop Juggernaut.
He has.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's right. There's a lot of dumbass comics out there.
I mean, Colossus is pretty powerful, dude. Like, Colossus can fight Thing and Hulk. Like, he can stand up against them.
He can stand up against Thing.
Yeah.
I think that's stupid.
Why are you hating on Colossus?
I'm not hating on him. I'm thinking it just seems like he's
literally
a little
the man of
overpowered.
steel. Colossus is the man of steel.
Still seems like they overpowered him. I think they've overpowered a lot of the X-Men, to be honest. I don't know what you guys think, but I think
This coming from the guy who loves Superman, literally the most overpowered person.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Superman's overpowered too. I think they've done
Batman's overpowered. Spider-Man can do anything.
Like no, they've overpowered a lot of heroes, man. I don't like it. You got to have your limitations because that's what makes the hero even better. So when you keep limitations on them,
I agree, but really, who has limitations? Like Daredevil has limitations. Like if he gets hit, which it's hard to do, but like in a long fight, Daredevil can get his ass.
But I've seen him get his ass kicked, and then he's laid up in a bed. They always show him bloody and laid out.
Yeah.
So to me, that's great.
Most heroes are fine. You know what I mean?
Hulk
most
and Thing
are overpowered.
Well, I'm just saying, over the years, they tend to overpower them as we go. You know what I mean? Like they start off one way, and then they go way high and overpower them. And a lot of times it leads to me just like Batman. They've taken him to, they've taken Batman to God level, and I'm like, that's not okay. That's some dumb shit right there. You know, Batman beats anyone with enough prep time. I would agree with that, but only because of brains, not because of his brawn. They've actually made him like the best ever.
The whole Batman thing, though, it bothers me both ways because in the Batman vs Superman, he's literally just hiding from Doomsday. Like he just hides. Like, and it's like that's so stupid. But then again, I don't want Batman to be able to just like fight Doomsday either. Like it's such like a hard.
So his option should have been he hid, and he should have been figuring out like what to do on the sidelines. And that's, I mean, what else can you do with him? You've got Doomsday and Superman. There's just no way he even holds a candle to either one of them physically. You know, it's stupid. So that's why scenes like that, you know, and I think Doomsday, when you have Batman in the story, is kind of stupid.
I mean, I feel like you could, like, if I had to write it, I'd write it where Batman would use his different tech to kind of be the rabbit that the dog's chasing. And so Doomsday chases him. But like in the movie, Doomsday's chasing him, and Batman is just using his stupid, what's the thing called that makes him go up on buildings and things.
Right. So I'm going to go back to this one first. Yeah, I know. I agree with you, but that movie was totally retarded anyway. So who cares? Um, sorry, I used the R word. Leroy versus Show Nuff. Yes. When you got that glow.
Dude, Show
You guys
Enough
know
is
that.
so stupid.
Your body knows. No, man, that
That's
movie's
so
awesome. That movie's great. Dirk versus Murph. Hands down the
Mhm.
best rivalry of all time. Of all time.
I don't know. I kind of like Megadeth versus Limp Bizkit myself.
Oh man. No, we're
The
better
funny
than
thing
that.
is, though, Limp Bizkit did have a rivalry with Metallica. Remember that?
Oh no, I don't know why
That
that would be a thing.
because that
How
was the whole
stupid.
Napster thing. Metallica
Oh,
hated
that's right.
Napster, and Limp Bizkit
Yeah.
was all about it, and that they kind of became the headlines for it.
Yeah. So I agree with Mo here. Batman being able to do shit like buy kryptonite is actually just as OP as Superman. Yeah, it's stupid. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I hate it. It's what's wrong with current comics. Same bullshit. They didn't know what to do with the characters, so they made them godlike, and it ruined them. Bat testosterone. Yeah. Leroy and
I
his
like
own
that.
channel. Oh shit. Wow.
Damn.
Dang.
Damn.
Going for the low blows tonight. Limp Biscuit wins. Hell no! What is wrong with you, man?
Dude,
Crazy.
we
Come on,
found this
man.
out last week
We
that
could not
Limp
be friends
Bizkit's a
for
bigger
very long.
headliner.
We cannot be very long friends. East Coast versus West Coast. Ho!
Why did you say the whole gay, Derek? Why did you do that?
I don't know, man. I just did it.
Because East versus West is like the whole like Biggie Smalls versus Tupac.
No.
Why did that become gay? I don't get it.
I was just like, hey, ho, hey. That's what I was thinking in my head.
Your hey is gay though. What is going on?
It's because it's dumb to me, so I do it dumb. Just one of those days. DeBarge beats Limp Bizkit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I would agree with you, DeBarge. Wasn't DeBarge in wasn't it in what's it called? In the Leroy versus Show Nuff movie? I thought they
Dude,
were
I've
in
never
that.
watched that movie, so I have no idea.
Hip hop hooray! Ho! I love it. You never watched that movie?
Vanilla Ice versus fuck.
Look at
What's the
this.
guy with the big pants?
Biggie versus
MC
Pac.
Hammer.
Biggie versus Pac. Wait, a new challenger has entered. RuPaul. Oh, that's terrible, Mo.
That's
The Rhythm
awesome.
of the Night was my jam.
The Rhythm of the Night. Oh man.
Here we go. Last Dragon. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. I needed it. But yeah, you know, you are the last dragon. Remember that song too? Gotta love it.
No, I don't know
so
any
cheesy.
of that. It's terrible.
Yeah, that movie was so great, man. You guys gotta go watch it. It's cheesy as hell, but it's fun. And Show Enough was great. His body actually glows. We ought to get a thing of that for
Dude.
Murphy to check it out when he's doing the glowing. It's
No.
cool. It's funny. Who's Johnny? Oh, I remember that song. Oh,
Why am I getting kicked? Because that
Get
movie's
kicked.
terrible?
Kick Murph. Yeah, because you never saw the movie.
Dude, I'm not going to
Solid.
waste any time of my life. Like, come on.
You should. You should. Just for
Dude,
fun.
it just,
You should do it.
no.
I put
No.
my kids through it. My kids had to do it. They came
And
out
look
better.
what's happened since then.
No, they came out better for it. They're better people. All
Shut
because they
because
watched.
of that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, when you got that glow, your body knows, man. You got to watch it.
Isn't that in that documentary of Michael Jordan? He's like, everything changed after I saw that movie. I realized I could fly.
There are essential movies that they have to watch, and that's just one of the few, one of the many.
Hey,
Actually,
you know what's a great rivalry? Dirk,
what's that?
You know what's a great rivalry?
What's that?
Michael Jordan and gambling.
Ooh, wow. I'd say Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
Dude, the day he dies, they're gonna put him in.
I know.
They're,
It's gonna be
it's gonna be
terrible.
that date. You'll
It's
see.
true.
It'll be like 9 o'clock in the morning. Pete Rose died 9:30. The Hall of Fame, Major League Baseball, just said, "Fuck you, Pete Rose. You're in now." Like,
And Murph stayed a little boy for the rest of his life, never to know the touch of a woman.
what?
Low blow, Dirk. It was, man. I want Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, dude. That's all. That's the only reason I said it.
No, I mean, come on, dude.
He needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Come on. That's stupid.
He was such a great player. Like,
He's iconic and he needs to be in it. He added to the baseball game, to the game of baseball. He needs to be in there. So I'm all for Pete Rose.
who isn't, except for those
Except for the Hall of Fame. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only ones who are saying no. Other than that, everybody's like, get him in there.
And yet, how many people they have in there that use drugs for performance? Like,
Right. That's exactly right. So yeah, he needs to be in. It's terrible what they. I will live to see Pete Rose be inducted to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Yeah, man. I think it'll happen. I know it'll happen. It's just going to be after he dies. I guarantee.
yeah, they're just not going to let, for whatever reason, they hate him and
they're not
assholes.
going to let him see it. So that's terrible. But yeah, it'll happen. So, isn't that interesting how everything has a Hall of Fame, but except comic books doesn't have a Hall of Fame, does it? Does it have a comic book Hall of Fame? Is there one?
I mean, is there a TV Hall of Fame?
A what?
Is there a TV Hall of Fame or a movie Hall of Fame?
Well, I mean, they have like Emmys and Oscars and.
But that's not a Hall of Fame. That's an award.
No, but I feel like it almost acts like the same thing for them, right? Like they.
No, because you got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but then you have the Grammys and those aren't the same things.
Yep, there you go. Pete Rose is a true gentleman. I don't care if he gambled; he's still loved and admired in Cincy. It's true.
Yeah.
And in Ohio, I think in all of baseball, people love him. You can't deny
Yeah.
it. Pete Rose is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. What? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, because he had a rivalry with Kane, Pete Rose. They would fight each other. It was hilarious.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be cool to see, comics have a Hall of Fame, but I mean, terrible now because in the last 20 years it wouldn't be worth it. But for the first decades of comics, that'd be pretty cool to see somebody organize that.
Yeah, pretty much everything up to the 90s, right?
No, I mean even the 90s and the 90s comics were good.
Yeah, because you definitely have like Jim Lee and
yeah. Well, and let's be honest, there's been a few comics since then that have been good too. We can't throw everything out, but
yeah, no, like Hickman, not just the Hickman's Fantastic Four run's supposed to be amazing. I've never read it, and
yeah, we should be happy there isn't a Hall of Fame because they would have spent the last 6 years destroying any credibility it might have had. I agree, Mo. I agree. It kind of sad when you think about it though, because people need to know some more history of comics and how it came to be and some of the people that added to it and what made comics what they are today. And, we got to look at documentaries for that right now. We don't have anywhere where we can go and get all the information in one thing. You can go to the internet and look at it, I guess. But
I mean, honestly though, it's crazy there isn't like a movie Hall of Fame because all the props you could have and stuff, like it'd actually be pretty cool.
Gatekeep the Hall of Fame. And I don't blame. Yeah, I think everybody's right on this, and I would agree with you. But I just think it's kind of sad because it's a great American, craft. It's something that came out of America as this. It's just great. You know what I mean? And spread across the whole world. And we don't have nothing to commemorate some of those old dudes, some of those first timers that started it all. That's what I think.
You kind of even wonder, how do you start a Hall of Fame? Like, how do you,
Well, I
you know what I
mean,
mean? Like, who
you
do
know,
you,
it's
like,
funny
can we
because
just
like,
start it, Derek? Can we
I don't
just
know,
say
but
the
take
Comic
a look
Book
at
Hall of
Rock.
Fame?
Take a look at the Rock Hall of Fame, though. I mean, who decides that shit, right? And it's probably record execs and Rolling Stone, because we know they influence most of the people who get in there. So when you look at it, it's really kind of a bunch of shit. So there's tons of bands that are major that still haven't made it in, that
Limp
were
Bizkit.
that are big deal. Well, but let's take some old school bands. So like Styx. Styx is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Why?
They've never been able to make it. And when I think about that, I'm like, Styx was a big band in the 70s and 80s, you know? And so for them to not get into the Rock Hall, that's crazy to me.
Is
You
there a
could,
comedian Hall of Fame?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Derek, we need to do a bunch of Hall of Fame fucking websites and names, so when they want to make a comedian one, and they have to give us money for it.
CG Chat Hall of Fame. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, of all people to come up with that idea, Mo. Yeah, yeah. Mo's been waiting for that forever, right?
I love it. Yeah, I bet he is. Bad news for America Chavez. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
So, here it is. With his vast experience in being gatekept, Mo should curate the Comic Book Hall of Fame. And he said, "Bad news for America Chavez." I mean, yeah, there's characters and things like that that people really hate and are tired of. And Styx is just one good song away from making the cut. I don't know, man. Dirk said a big deal, Murph. I can't believe I'm hearing anyone argue for Styx. Well, dude, they're iconic.
You and Crazy Mad have the total opposite taste in music.
It's kind of funny though to me because, yeah, but when you think of classic rock, Styx was up there, dude, in the 70s and 80s.
I don't know about being up there for classic rock, Derek.
Are you kidding?
Classic?
Yeah. Do you not know what they sang?
I know what they sang. I just don't think
So you never heard Renegade? Renegade isn't a big deal at all.
I feel like you could go out with ever hearing a song from them and be fine.
You don't remember that one?
I do remember that. It's okay. It's not.
Okay, so you're just saying if you didn't like it, they shouldn't belong in the Hall of Fame. That's
no,
what
I
you're
just
saying.
don't. I don't think. I just don't think it. I don't. I mean, there's people who have good songs, but that doesn't mean they need to be in a Hall of Fame. Like, that's your best of your best. Like,
no, it's not. It's not about the best of the best. That's not what it is.
What it's supposed to be. Well, it's about fame.
No, fame. It's not about the best of the best. That's not what Hall of Fame is.
It's about the fame. Hall of Fame. Styx is not famous.
They are famous. From Mr. Roboto to Lady. See, Lady. That's a big song. No one rocks harder than Styx in Dirk's book. Yeah, that's right. Is Murph Dean's barely older brother? See? Oh, it's too funny. Okay, Styx was a bad choice. Let's take Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden was a big contributor to heavy metal in the late 70s to early 80s. And even in the mid 80s. So they're one of the most iconic metal bands of all time.
I mean, they're a better example. They're a better example than Styx, but it's
how are they not in the Hall of Fame? It's bullshit. I got your one good song joke, Mo, even if Dirk didn't. That's why we both be in the CG Chat Hall of Fame. Oh man.
Danny would be in the chat Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he would. He'd be over Mo, I guess, right? Dirk only likes Iron Maiden because he thinks lyrics are stick, stick, sticks, the number of the beast. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, damn.
That's awesome. Up the irons, biatches.
How did we get to music? We need to stop.
We always get on music, but
We
it's
need to
because we started talking about Hall of Fame, and then you started arguing because you always think you know more about music. than
Derek, we should
Really
definitely make the comic book Hall of Fame. We should just do it.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with that shit. You know why? Because of current comics. I would never want to touch this decade.
But if you did one person every year, if you did
I would
one
never.
person every
You couldn't
year,
do one person every year. That don't make no sense. There's too many
What do you
people.
mean? Why not?
To do one person a year. That's what they're doing
Why
with
not?
music, and you have people dying off before they're ever in the Hall of Fame, which makes no sense.
Well, that's why we have a bunch of dead comic artists and writers that would definitely take a long list of us keep going for the comic book Hall of Fame.
Yeah. No, I don't want to do that.
What you could actually do for the comic book Hall of Fame, if you did a class every year, you could do writer, artist, character.
Yeah. Murph's next bad take: 5 flavor fruit punch should be in the Hall of Fame. It's true. All right, heading out. Yeah, Miss Good Stuff. Thank you. In the immortal words of Styx, Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long. Renegade, baby. I love it. I love it. After knowing Dirk's love for The Last of Us Episode 3, are we really surprised by his love of Styx? Hey, Paul, AGE Comics. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming in. See you, Mrs. Good Stuff. And
See, you ran them all off with sticks. Way to go. It's like Pokemon.
hey, dude, it probably is. But you know what? I don't care. Here's the thing. There's just many bands. It's not just Styx. There are many bands who have been around a long time, contributed a lot to classic rock and to the rock genre in general, and still have not made it into the Hall of Fame. And it's really stupid. It's really,
Limp
really
Bizkit.
stupid. That I don't think they really deserve a whole lot, but that's just me.
I mean, they are famous though. Like you got to admit that have they contributed to music? No, but I mean,
That's what I'm
still famous.
saying, man.
You feel like Styx damn it.
Contributed?
Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't fucking say that.
Yeah, I do. I do think they did. Dirk streamed
What did
Super
they-
the Pixie Sticks. You gotta understand, like Styx was different. They were kind of on the verge of being prog, but they were
Really?
rock too. Yeah, they were on the verge of prog. You didn't listen to any of their stuff. What was on the radio?
Well, of course. Why would I?
Well,
would I-
that's what I mean. No,
I've never had someone be like, "You got to hear the Styx album. Let's go." And like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, that's because it was out of your era, dude. You know what I mean? Like, but when I was growing up, I remember when, you know, some of their stuff came out, and people were like, "This is a great album," and it had some good stuff. I wouldn't say I loved everything Styx did on an album. There was a lot of stuff I really hated, but they contributed with, you know, the harmonies were awesome. They were on the verge of prog, and then they kind of tied in. You know, even just like Lady, it starts off in just a piano playing. You know what I mean? And it carries most of the song until later on, whenever the band kicks in. There's a lot of things that they did that, you know, it was just cool and original that you don't get to hear now. I just think people deserve a little more. I think there's a lot of bands that probably made it into the Rock Hall of Fame that I don't know if they should really be there. You know what I mean?
anybody you know of, or are you just talking out of your butt?
No. I'd have to give a look, but I think, you know, they've given some pop singers and stuff the Rock Hall over what I would consider rock, because it's not, I know it's pop rock, but still, I wouldn't necessarily put them
You know,
in
I thought
with
because
these
it's
other
rock and
bands.
roll, it's not Rock Hall of Fame, it's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I always thought,
Yeah,
because can't rappers be putting it too, or
they
no?
are. There are
Okay,
rap
so it's
groups in
all
there. Yeah.
music. It's
Yeah, but
everything.
it's not all styles, but although it looks like styles, because rap to me is not necessarily what I would call rock. They use rock, but it's not all rock.
Well, I would think rap's more roll than rock, right?
Say that again.
Wouldn't rap be more the roll part and not the rock part of rock and roll?
I mean, to me, rap is more about the beat. It's not necessarily about everything else.
You could say that though for rock and roll as well.
I don't know. Nowadays, yes, you could say that. Back then, though,
Like, wouldn't
it was about
jazz
all
be
of it.
more about the beat than the actual lyrics, right? Yes.
No,
You think
I've never
jazz
had.
is more about the lyrics than the music?
It's not always about the lyrics. It's about the melody line and the chord progressions. That's where the conversation is. I've never had anyone say you got to hear this Styx album. Damn, one of Murph's finest moments.
I don't think he's making fun of me. I think he's giving me that's
He's
right.
saying it's one of your finest moments.
Yeah, Mo's giving me credit that was a good
That's
take.
terrible.
No one's ever said that. Not even Stick's mother.
You're right. Oh, I don't know if I'd say that. I would say, but Murph, like I said, they don't have to be the greatest band. I'm not saying greatest, and you're acting like
Eric
because if they're in the
Cartman's
Hall of
"I'll
Fame.
Sail Away."
Yeah,
That
hold
is
on. I
awesome.
was talking and you interrupted me.
Sorry,
So
that was a good.
in
You
the
put it
middle
up.
of the sentence, we're not talking about the greatest band. We're talking about bands who deserve to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah, not the greatest bands, just
No,
bands
but I
that
still don't
deserve
think
it.
they deserve it.
I think you're wrong.
Why? Honestly, if you took their music out of existence, what would have changed with music?
Well, you could do that with a lot of bands, Murph. So that's not a good argument.
No,
So
I think you could do
really,
that,
though,
and those bands shouldn't be in it then.
I think you're wrong. I think you're way wrong. Because sometimes a song has a lot of impact. Renegade is a big song. A lot of people remember Renegade a lot.
Should a person be in the Hall of Fame just for one song? Like, should one hit wonders get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Possibly sometimes, I think, because they do
Damn.
I mean, it is part of the history of rock and roll.
Oh, but I mean, do they ever do? Is it ever a song or no? It has to be a complete person. Like, you think someone could have a one-hit wonder so good that they're in the Hall of Fame for one song?
I mean, yeah, I do think that certain songs are going to climb above others. Yes, I do.
Is there anyone you have in mind that's a one-hit wonder that you'd be like, you'd be fine with them putting in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know if I can do that off the top of my head.
I know I was thinking that, like, who's a one-hit wonder? And I can't even think of someone off the top of my head, like, just a song that's a one-hit wonder. Like, who is that?
That's hard. That's a hard. You're asking me to think too hard right now. So Renegade was a big song, but not a good song. The Macarena was also a big song. Yeah, it was. But it was a big song, but not a good song. So you don't like Renegade, I take it. I think it was a great song, especially if you're talking about classic rock. That thing was played on repeat in my years growing up, like constantly. I heard Renegade all the time growing up.
Why?
Because it was just it was a popular song. Super popular.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Renegade was a big one, man. Heard it all the time. And then right up there with Boston, doing, my Marianne and all those. You'd hear those all the time. You know what song I'm talking about? See my Marianne walking away.
No.
You don't remember that song?
No, I do not,
Shit,
sir.
dude. That's crazy. Okay. You don't know much Boston either?
Boston's cool. I like Boston.
But see, I would argue Styx probably had more songs.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Probably even. No, I'd say they're even. I would say they're even. Definitely.
I don't know, Derek. That's a tough take.
Styx are basically the American Rush, but without the epic drummer. Whoa. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, dude. Damn, you guys are jumping on me. I can't keep up with the chat. And I say that as someone who doesn't like Rush. Yeah, I do like Rush, so I wouldn't say that.
You don't like Rush. You love Rush.
Yeah, I do love Rush. They're one of my all-time faves. Okay, Mo, that's the most sideways yet accurate assessment I've heard. I'll give you that one.
What'd you
It's too
say?
funny.
What did he say?
He's talking about Styx and a Rush, being American Rush. Murph likes Boston,
okay.
but he's never heard their biggest hit. Yeah, what is Boston's biggest hit? I mean, I was kind of.
You tell me. You tell me.
It's More Than a Feeling. So that's the one I was kind of singing. More than a feeling. You don't. I can't help you.
No, that's a car commercial song.
No. They probably stole it.
No, I mean car commercials always have that song on there.
Yeah.
More than a feeling.
I
don't know why.
I mean, that's a big one. That's a big song. But
Yeah.
Boston only had a few hits. They really only did. They only had a few hits. So it's, Kansas is another big one. I would say Kansas, Styx, Boston, all those guys. I don't think any of them are in the Rock Hall of Fame. Kansas, to me, Dust in the Wind, Carry On My Wayward Son.
Yeah, Dust in the Wind.
Oh, I'm hitting songs you love. Yeah? But I don't think they're in the Rock Hall of Fame.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Okay.
I would bet that they're in.
Would you? You would bet they're in. Yeah. I don't think so, dude.
Dude, you got super happy. I don't know why.
I got happy because I think you're so wrong. That's why.
We'll check it out. See if they're in it.
Okay, let's look. Let's look and see if these bands are in there. Because I'm thinking that Kansas is not. Let's look. Nope, they're not. Hang on.
I got More Than a Feeling in my head now.
Yeah. See, it keeps on saying, should Kansas be inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame?
So they're not in if that's on.
Yeah,
if that's the internet.
And that's what I mean. Like, it's one of. I think that's a travesty. You know what I mean? These bands were iconic back in that day. Everybody loved them just for the two songs that they put out, which was the ones I said, Carry On My Wayward Son and Dust in the Wind. And see, only two songs, Murph, and you're thinking they should be in the Rock Hall of Fame.
They probably had more.
So, there's no difference between what I said and Styx and Renegade.
You're saying they only had two songs. I'm not saying they only had two songs.
Two songs you know of. Name another.
I probably know more. It's just not off the top of my head.
I don't think you do know more. I don't think you do know more. And the reason I say that is because it's just like what everybody says, like Styx, they're not very good, but they had a lot of songs that people liked, Biggest rivalry, Murph versus 80s songs. Blending the subjects, Howard the Duck versus Kiss. Yeah, there you go. Kiss is the most overrated band of all time, and I agree. I don't like Kiss very well. I like their makeup, though. I used to love it.
What about Peace of Mind?
Oh, my God. What are you doing to us all?
Peace of Mind by Boston.
Sing it.
Peace of Mind.
Murph, that was the best ever. You belong in the Rock Hall of Fame for doing that.
What about Boston's Higher Power?
I'm going to clip that You don't know. You don't know that song either.
What about Feeling Satisfied or Cool the Engines?
Cool the Engines. Was that a song? I thought that was an album.
Higher Power. I'm looking at their greatest hits album.
Okay. Yeah, they found their new front man. Hey, we agreed on music, Dirk. Ah, look at that. I knew we would get it one day. That's what's so funny. So, see, when you like something, Murph, you were like, yeah, get them in the Hall of Fame. But when you didn't like it, you were like, no, they don't belong there. It's a bunch of shit.
No, dude,
That's what I'm
Styx
telling you.
sucks. That's not an opinion. That's just.
I'm not saying like Styx. Okay.
Yes, you are.
There are bands in the Rock Hall of Fame that I don't like either, but doesn't mean they don't deserve to be in there. They had a following, they had a contribution to music, they did the work to get in there. But there's a lot of bands who did the work and they're getting snubbed to this day.
Like
and they were iconic. They were iconic back in the day and they had impact on people. I would say Limp Bizkit does deserve to get in there eventually.
Really?
You know, eventually.
I don't know about that. I think that's pulling a little much.
What?
Limp Bizkit to be in rock? I think that's a little much.
I don't think so, man. I mean, when you think about it, they had a big following.
Yeah, but
they did.
They do anything for music? I
mean, really, they
I
broke
can
out.
Enjoy them, but I don't think they belong there. I don't.
They broke out new metal. I mean, they kind of got the new metal scene going. So I don't know, man. That's
they
a
weren't
big deal.
the biggest of new metal, though. Like Linkin Park's bigger than Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit came out before Linkin Park.
Actually, I wonder who is the first new metal band. Who did?
Yeah,
who?
I don't know if I would say they're iconic.
Actually, that's
all this
interesting.
because of Pete Rose. See, we've been on this subject because of Pete Rose. You're right. We got sidetracked. If VH1 played them, they were soft. Limp Bizkit was the biggest band in the world at one time. I mean, they were pretty damn big, I got to say. But I don't know, man. I think it really comes down to whether you like them or not, Murph, and that's not the way you got to put.
No, that's not true. I like Limp Bizkit, and I don't think they should be in the Hall of Fame.
But why? I mean, why not? They actually had a following. So why wouldn't you put them in the Rock Hall at one point?
Because they didn't do anything.
But they did. They were at the beginning of new metal, dude. They helped launch that whole era.
Are they? You can't tell me who the first new metal band is, so how do you know they were the front runners?
They weren't the front runners. They were just one of the first bands that did it. They helped contribute to the
I don't
new
know
metal
if that's
scene.
true, though. Honestly, I don't know who started it. Like, who was there at the beginning?
I don't know either. I'm looking it up. Who was the first new metal band? They say Korn.
Korn?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Korn was there at the time.
I feel like POD might be one of the first, honestly, right?
POD, yeah, POD is one of the first. They were in the 90s, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But they weren't as popular, though. They didn't break it out.
I think
Korn was definitely bigger.
I would think Stained probably is one of the first. Or Fuel. Fuel and Stained were before Limp Bizkit. You're right. Linkin Park is definitely one of the later ones, but they were one of the biggest. They might be the biggest, Linkin Park.
I don't even know if they're considered new metal, really, Limp Bizkit.
What would you... Oh, Limp Bizkit's not new metal?
Well, they inspired... So they inspired bands. They inspired new metal bands, but they weren't new metal themselves.
What are they?
So they were definitely an influence. They influenced Linkin Park, and
that sounds wrong.
But it's true because they came out a while after. So because it was rap rock, I mean, it was rap metal, really. That's really what they did.
Was there anything between grunge and new metal?
Yeah.
No.
Grunge and new metal.
Was there anything?
You had that really dead area last 5 years of 90s. That was kind of weird.
But I feel like that's new metal. Was the late 90s, like 96 would be the new metal.
New metal. I think new metal hit a little later. I mean, they were starting to rise at that point. Like Well, Limp Bizkit came out late '90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had POD was hitting at that point.
Korn.
Yeah, they were hitting all at that point. So yeah, new metal was just hitting out of that. But until they reached a lot of fame, you had a lot of I don't know, just strange rock, in my opinion.
Like, would you consider like Candlebox or anything like that, like getting closer, getting out of Seattle and more towards new metal, or no?
Wasn't
Or
wasn't
Silverchair?
Candlebox? Yeah, Silverchair was Australian, right?
Maybe.
I thought they were.
They're definitely not American. I know that. I don't know what they are, but they're not American. Candlebox.
Yeah, I don't know Candlebox as well. The term new metal was first used for Cold Chamber. No, well, they actually contribute new metal to Korn first. So Cold Chamber was probably in there. I remember Cold Chamber. Slipknot did it better than all of them. And rap rock metal is what they called new metal.
Slipknot does have a
right
lot of.
before new metal stopped being popular. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Candlebox was always alternative. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Candlebox
Yeah.
was
That.
alternative.
Okay.
And Silverchair is Australian. Candlebox new metal. What the hell happened to Murph who roasted sticks into the ground earlier?
Dude, I like.
I told you, Mo.
I liked Candlebox. I thought they were. I enjoyed them. I enjoyed Days of the New. What would you consider Days of the New? Because they're acoustic. You wouldn't.
They're kind of alternative, right? Like I
Maybe.
wouldn't call them. To me, they were low on that alternative side.
Would you say Tool inspired new metal at all? Because they were 95, 96.
I always considered Tool prog.
Yeah, okay.
So
I'll give you that.
they're prog metal.
But I feel a lot of people that enjoy new metal do enjoy Tool.
Like they do. Yeah, Tool's accessible. And that's why. They're prog that's accessible. A lot of prog is not accessible to everybody.
Good point. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, because I don't really. Yeah, you're right. I don't really like prog at all. Yeah, but I do. I enjoy.
You do like prog because you listen to Porcupine Tree, and I know you've loved some Porcupine Tree.
Yeah, I do like Porcupine Tree.
So you do like prog. That's prog metal. You know what I mean? Like that. So there is stuff out there that I know you like. It's just you don't listen to the majority of it because the majority of it is crap. I've gone to listen to it too, and I can't stand most of it out there. But there are those nuggets of like gold that you get a hold of it. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Well, to me, it's kind of like the same thing. Prog and punk, they almost have like an era about them. Like,
yeah, they do.
Like they're very prideful to be in that music genre, and it's like,
well, you know why?
That's what you do, but it's just weird to be like, yeah.
You stay in prog. Well,
prog and punk, I feel like they have those attitudes.
Well, punk was an attitude of fu, but
yeah,
prog is more of I'm a great player. I know I can play my ass off. So there's this kind of arrogance that goes with it because they know they're ass kickers. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
They're almost playing a jazz, metal. They're playing in all kinds of territories that not very many musicians will gravitate towards. And it turns people off because of that, because it's so different. And because, it's not always, it's never going to hit the pop area at all.
Yeah.
Why can't we be Alice in Chains? See, I think Fuel was the why can't we be Alice in Chains?
No, Fuel's not. They're not musical. I like Fuel. Fuel's one of my favorite bands.
But they're the ones who sound exactly like Alice in Chains.
I don't think he sings like his voice, but I don't think their music sounds like Alice in Chains.
I do. I think they're trying to be Alice in Chains pretty much most of the time. Faith No More was great, but I feel like Faith No More is also prog rock in a lot of ways. They don't do.
Dude, I like Alice in Chains and Fuel a lot, and I don't consider them the same at all.
I think they were trying to be. You can hear it in their music all over the place, and it's not just an influence. To me, it's more than an influence. It's
I don't
they're
feel
really
like
trying to mimic it.
okay, I'll say I enjoy Fuel, but I feel like Alice in Chains and the good part of Metallica have this like elegance to their music at times. Like not all like Rooster isn't, but like No Excuses to me is like it's a well written song musically. Like you know what I mean? And I don't think Fuel has anything that's close to that.
No, they. I don't think they write good songs, but I think their sound. They try to make everything be like that sound, and even the voice. I feel like his voice really tries to be Lane Staley, and I'm like,
No,
man,
I'll give you that.
why?
I mean, everyone who sings like that tries to be like Alice in Chains. Let's be
But
honest.
but why? I mean, that's the problem, and that's why I can't stand most of that music because I'm like,
See, I like all of that.
do your
Anyone
thing.
like I would agree with you. Godsmack sounds like Alice in Chains, but
Woo!
Queensryche.
Yeah, I love Queensryche.
I think
Not
Fuel.
the new Queensryche.
I don't think Fuel sounds anything like Alice in Chains.
Well, I don't know. The songs don't, but I think the sounds, I think what they're going for.
I
They
mean,
want-
I know you probably haven't listened to like I've listened to all of Fuel's albums, but even their big hits like Shimmer was a huge, almost pop hit. That's nothing like Alice in Chains.
Also, some Fuel came on one day, and I was like, wait a minute, is that an Alice in Chains song I never heard? And then I looked, and I was like, fuck, no wonder I don't like it that well. And it was Fuel. And I was like, there we go. That's why.
It's like Bad Day Again and Hemorrhage in My Hands. They're nothing like Alice in Chains songs.
Mo's got it. They tried to sound like Alice in Chains, and they didn't succeed. Exactly.
I think Fuel is completely different.
Yeah. Michael T., you need to listen to Operation Mindcrime, not Empire. Empire was okay, but it was the end of their big run.
Do you think
Go listen-
Queensryche has good albums? I've never given
Operation
them a-
Mindcrime is their greatest album, and it's it still sounds good to this day. And then I'm trying to think of the other one that they had that was good. It's a Red album. I can't think of the name of it. I'll think of it later. But anyway, they had about 2 albums that I liked. So, but yeah. Anyway, so we've been going almost 2 hours. Again, you get us started on music, and we're like, okay, let's roll.
That's on you. That's not on me.
Yeah, right.
The music's
Operation
on you.
Mindcrime. Ooh,
I
you have
made
it on
zero
vinyl.
comments
That's awesome.
about music.
I'm just saying. Anyway, you're wrong. You did say a lot of stuff about music. And you actually
Yeah,
were the
I did.
reason we got off on Pete Rose and was like, do you think we ought to do a Hall of Fame?
We
And then
did.
it
We
got
need to
into
do a
Hall of
comic book
Fame.
Hall of Fame. We just need to do it, Derek.
Let's do CG Hall of Fame. Let's do that.
We'll sell a lot more comics if people are like, "Hey, who are these 2 guys that have the comic book Hall of Fame?" We'll be like, "We can put whoever the fuck we want in it. It's ours."
Casey's about to beat Dirk. You're right. You are right, crazy man. Going 2 hours, she's not going to be happy. But it's a good time anyway.
You know what? We forgot about the biggest rivalry of all time.
Us.
No,
What?
Austin Powers and Dr. Evil.
Oh, that's movies.
Okay, we'll save that.
Yeah, what are you doing? Remember we told Raiden Radio he wasn't allowed, and then you just did it all over the place.
Well, this is my channel. I can do whatever the hell I want.
That's rude, man. So rude. No, okay, anyway. No, we're not doing the Comic Book Hall of Fame because that's stupid because it'll get
No.
ruined.
Well,
It deserves
man.
it, but
I'm doing it, and you're not getting any
It's
credit
terrible.
for it.
also we should do a CG Hall of Fame only. I don't know. I don't know what would happen if we did a CG Hall of Fame. What do you guys think? Probably
No,
stupid too.
we're putting us in it first.
Oh hell yeah, I'm at the top. I don't give a shit. I don't care who's EVS. I don't know. Dirk and Murph, man. Rocky versus the English language. Yes.
Oh, I like that.
You could say Lou Ferrigno too. Anybody
Oh,
want to
man.
pee that? Does anybody want to pee
I love that. Everyone who want to be.
that? That's funny. So, guys, I don't know. We didn't get very far. Greatest all time, Batman, Joker, for sure.
Yeah, hands down.
I'm putting Superman and Lex in number 2, man. That's just the way it is. They're so iconic. I don't know how you can top them.
Superman and Lex could be number 12.
Nope, they're number 2. You just hate them. That's all. And like everything, if you don't like it, they don't belong there. That's not true.
It is true. It's my Hall
Look
of
at
Fame.
that. First inductee, ARO. Second, Chook.
Nice.
I love that.
We're very pro gorilla here.
So I do got to say, our channel has a hell of a lot of lore, and we need to dig into that lore a little more.
Shouldn't third be Arambe?
Maybe. Mike Tyson versus the letter F. Oh, that was painful to say. I don't like most of CG. Oh, well, you know what? I don't blame you, Crazy Mad. There's some crazy shit out there sometimes. So you're safe with us, man. That's for damn sure. So I saw a video on Mike Tyson that I thought was interesting. I'm just put this out there. They asked him, they said, if you had to fight, because thinking of rivalries, thinking of some of the great boxing rivalries, right? He said, if you had to fight Muhammad Ali in your 20s, so we'll put Mike Tyson in your 20s, and we're going to put Muhammad Ali in your 20s, who wins? What do you think his answer was?
He'd have to say himself.
You think so?
Yeah, it's Mike Tyson.
Okay, you're wrong. He actually picked Muhammad Ali. He said,
"You set me up, you bastard." You knew
no. Well, yeah, I knew. What the hell? But here's the thing. The truth is, I mean, you always pick the wrong one. I knew what was going to happen. You would have done that. It's okay. So
I love that. I go, you set me up, and you go, what the hell?
No, I said, yeah, of course. What the hell? But it's interesting because he said, Muhammad Ali was an animal. He said, watch him. He goes, it's not just that he had sheer power, because Mike Tyson had the power over Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah, Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he has the power. But he said it's the sheer kind of animalistic style that Muhammad Ali had, though. Muhammad Ali was he would just go, go, go. And he said, I wouldn't be able to stand up to it. He goes, taking hits off of him. When you think about it, Tyson didn't get hit that much in his career.
No, not at all.
And so, Ali did get hit a lot.
Yeah, he did.
The rope-a-dope was his big thing. So it was like, it's amazing when you think about that. But it's ultimately what left Muhammad Ali in the shape he was before he died. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, he picked Muhammad Ali. It's crazy, man. Yeah, he goes the distance. Tyson could go like 3 rounds and then he was gassed. Right.
Yeah, but I
mean,
mean,
power though. That's why.
Yeah, but I feel like Muhammad Ali probably never got hit
he got hit.
Tyson can hit.
Shit, George Foreman hit him.
Dude, did you see the George Foreman movie tanked? Like, no one went to see it. It made $3 million. Like it.
Yeah, but I don't care what you say. George Foreman was a heavy hitter, man.
Oh,
he
was
a heavy hitter. So it's kind of crazy when you think about it. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting thing. I just thought it was an anecdote to throw out there because it was an interesting video. 2 seconds I watched it and I was like, damn, that surprised me that he picked Muhammad Ali. I think Ali would win, but Ali would have to retire a lot sooner after fighting Tyson. You're probably right.
I'm pretty sure Tyson said Ali, and you were just going to say the opposite answer, whatever I said, to make me look stupid.
Nope. It's out there. You can watch it. Tyson Ali, freight train versus a fighter jet. I mean, you're right.
Ooh, I like that.
The fighter jet is faster, and I think he would have a way in because of that. That's why. And I think that's why Tyson picked it too.
Yeah, but look what a freight train did to Ohio.
Yeah, no doubt.
A fighter jet's never done that. Poison the water.
Well, did you see like a week after we had another one? Or 2 weeks after we had another.
Dude, there was like 21 of them who went off this year. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, like literally we had them. It's just crazy. So
it's terrorism and they just don't want to report it.
Yeah, it's nuts. So, well, guys, I think it's about time to call it. I don't know. We're just going to keep hanging on to different subjects. We already got off our greatest rivalries of all time. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna go and listen to a Styx album now.
then I did my job. I got you to do what I needed you to do. Listen to better music, Murph.
No, I'm gonna listen to Fuel. I haven't listened to them in a long time.
Oh, terrible choice.
Dude, Fuel is good, man. You're missing out.
Put on some "Carry On My Wayward Son" and
That is good. I do like that song.
"Dust in the Wind."
Oh,
Those are great songs. So, okay. So, guys, hail the chat.
remember, we're just dust in the wind. That's
right.
all we are.
All we are is dust in the wind.
Dude, lyrically, that is one of the greatest lyrics ever written. All we are is dust in the wind. That's pretty fucking awesome.
I got erection. Look at this shit. Fuel's okay.
Okay.
Dirk's gonna break stuff. Yeah. Gotta go. Oh man. So dang, I got erection just came in and now we're leaving. So check the stats on average. No more derailment than usual. And it's what they're carrying that's the problem. Yeah, it's true. But still, it was like one right after the other. So it made it look like it was like all the conspiracies were coming true. Everybody freaks out and loses their crap. That's why that was such a thing. So
did I get kicked out?
No.
Oh,
I can do it if you want me to.
I couldn't hear or see you, so that was weird.
Oh, okay. Did I freeze up or something?
It was one of the clock thingy turning. I couldn't see you, and it was just.
Oh, okay. Well, just like Michael T says, hail nerds. We will see you guys next week, next Tuesday. We have some new guests lined up. We have some things happening soon, and so hopefully we get some new people in here. And we're hoping to do some great things for the show as we keep going. So even if we just talk about dumb stuff like tonight, we get to have a lot of fun. So thank you guys for joining us. Like and subscribe to the channel. Find us on Twitter at our handles under our names. And we will see you guys next week.
Carry on my wayward son.
God, let it in.